Good morning, good evening, good night to everyone watching this video. My name is Nestor Chan, and today I'll be explaining on subject versus object. Now, today's goals are to define what a subject is, define what an object is, to explain to you all how to identify a subject and an object, as well as to go in depth with the different types of objects. At the end of this video, you will be able to clearly differentiate the two. Now let's go into what a subject is. A subject is a person, thing, place, or idea that is doing an action or simply being in a sentence. The subject will always be a noun or pronoun, and they are typically found in the beginning of a sentence. A simple equation on finding out what the subject is subject equals who or what, and in quotations put verb. Let's go to the first sentence. The cat ran outside. The verb is ran. Who or what ran? Cat. The cat is the subject. The second sentence. The boy is hiding. The verb is. Who or what is hiding? Boy. Boy is the subject. Let's shift on over to what an object is. According to English grammar, an object is either a noun phrase, or a pronoun that is being affected by the action of the verb. Let's go to the first sentence. Michael is good at playing basketball. Now, one thing that you'll have to learn is finding the verb is incredibly crucial on finding what the subject is and what the object is. So, object in this sentence is basketball. The way you find that is by pointing out what the verb is. The verb is playing. Who or what is playing? Michael. Michael is the subject. Michael is playing what? Basketball. The ability to differentiate subject and object all relies on identifying what the verb in a sentence is. The verb plays a crucial role. Let's go to the second sentence. Sarcasm is the biggest threat to San Pedro. The verb is threat. Who or what is the biggest threat? Sarcasm. What is sarcasm a threat to? San Pedro. San Pedro is the object. It is being affected by the verb of the subject. American parents are refusing to vaccinate their children. So this sentence has two verbs. Refusing and vaccinate. Who or what are refusing to vaccinate? Parents. What are parents refusing to vaccinate? Their children. Their children are being affected by the verb of the subject. That's what makes it the object, and that's how to find the object. Now, the objects that I have given to you all are all direct objects, but objects have three kinds. There's the direct objects, which I have just mentioned, which are always affected by the verb of the subject. There are indirect objects, which are the receiver of the direct object. Objects of preposition, which are often confused with direct object. The only difference is the one being affected by the verb is a preposition. The object is found after the preposition. Now, all of these may seem difficult just by their explanation, but in practice, they're really easy. Let's start off with something we know, direct objects. Elizabeth folded the clothes. Verb, folded. Subject, Elizabeth. Clothes, object. We know this, so we can skip past this one. Now let's go to indirect objects. This is where it gets a little challenging. Marcus built his daughter a treehouse. So, a trick for finding out what the indirect object is that the indirect object can be completely taken out of a sentence, and the sentence can still make sense. Let's picture this. Marcus built a treehouse. You don't need to add his daughter, but since his daughter is there, and it is a noun, then it is the indirect object. Let's try this again. I made a chocolate cake for mom. Made is the verb. I is the subject. I made a chocolate cake. For who? Mom. Mom is the indirect object. She got Mary a bike for Christmas. Now, we can take out Mary completely and it would still make sense. She got a bike for Christmas. Since Mary is added into the sentence, then Mary is the indirect object. She's not directly affected by the outcome. They normally give refugees shelter. You take out refugees, they normally give shelter. That's just an easy way on how to figure out what the indirect object is. Let's step into the object. Money from the bank. An easy way to find out what the object of preposition is that, as the name states, it entails a preposition. So all you need to do to find out the object of preposition is to find a preposition, and after the preposition, that's the object. So the cat hid under. Once you find preposition under, you just go to bed, and that is the object. And that will wrap up this session. I hope this video finds you well. I hope it's informative for all of you, and it does. All of these tricks that I've entailed upon you are very accurate and they do work. So goodbye.